welcome to Newsmakers. We're talking events and education here with the director of the Kansas City Public Library, Crosby Kemper III. And we're also at the 18th and Vine Historic American Jazz Museum, a beautiful place to be talking to you today. So I've heard you describe yourself as curmudgeon-in-chief of the library, but you really can't say that about the library these days. There's a lot of exciting, fun things going on,
Oh,
right?
yes, but I can still be a curmudgeon even while we're doing exciting and fun things. You know, it's part of my routine. You know, we do have a lot of exciting things going on. You know, we have a great programming. We were just at the American Library Association convention where we won their programming award for the best programming, and I think we're doing more and more depth than anybody else, really trying to be about lifelong learning. What libraries, Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Carnegie believed libraries should be places for lifelong learning, the people's university.
Mm-hmm. Are you happy with the library right now, where it's at, what you're doing, or?
Well, I think we can always do a lot more. You know, we have a lot of people in our community who are underserved. And by that, I mean people who are having a hard time because of income, family background, social circumstances of one kind or another that in making their way in the world, and particularly children. And a lot of them are in our district. And we serve as many of them as we can. We have a huge service of computer access. We do lots of story times and reading programs with kids, but we're not getting to everybody. So we're trying to raise money. We have to raise private money to do this. Our tax monies are declining for reasons we could go into to help serve these populations, which really need. You know,
why is the tax money declining?
Well, the tax money's declining for a couple of reasons. One, our district is actually depopulating a little bit on the east side. That part of Kansas City that we have between the river and 79th Street and between State Line and Independence. On the east side of Troost, is actually depopulating. And so that's one reason. But the main reason is the city has the most permissive, i.e. without standards, tax increment financing policy, tax abatement and diversion policy of any city in the United States.
So are you saying that the money's not going to the libraries
they
as they
take money
should?
from the library, the school district, the mental health levy, the community colleges, and they give it to developers, they give it to large corporations that are expanding because they have new business. Every one of these big deals you see has usually got some money from the library as well as the schools and the community colleges and the mental health levy in it.
So do you think the community's perception is that TIF money is actually going to places like the library, but it's really actually not?
I think people think they voted us a levy and they voted us tax money and they have no idea that the city takes it. I don't think anybody actually, other than about 15 of us, understand tax increment financing. They see development deals. They don't understand that it's not just city money. And they don't even, you know, they hear that there are all these jobs being created and don't actually hear about where the money comes from or the fact that most of these jobs are going to be created anyway. They're created because the large corporations are expanding.
Would there ever be a scenario where you go back to the voters and try to get more support?
We may have to go back to the voters. The new economic development policy, which they've been working on for months and months, years and years really, we think may not. It depends on how the city council implements it, but we've not had a champion, and since I've been the library director for almost 10 years, we've not had a champion for the children on the city council. They're champions of the developers.
Really quick, one of your visions is to build a community of readers. Can you talk about that briefly?
Yeah, the community of readers is exactly about what I mentioned before, that we need to deepen our reading programs, all of our reading programs, to children, to teens, to adults, to build a more universal literacy in Kansas City, higher level, more aspirational level of literacy to get to everybody.
If money and resources were not an issue, what problem would you solve? What would you fix today? What would you
Literacy in Kansas City, make sure every child, it's the mayor's program, which is the National League of Cities program, that every child could read at grade level by 3rd grade. I think that's a wonderful goal. But to do that, I think you have to have the whole community engaged in this, and you have to have people focused on what makes that work. And I think we're not there yet.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate all of your hard work that you're doing in the city, in the community, and at the libraries. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have today on Newsmakers, but thank you for being here.
Thank you, Carrie.
And that's all the time. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next time.